Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for dialing in. I'm Nitin Saraswat. I'm a part of SessionMate team, and I have my teammates Rupal, Aditya, and others in the call as well. So we will just give 1 minute for everybody to dial in, and once everybody has dialed in, then we will start with the walkthroughs that have been shared earlier in the priority WhatsApp group. Meanwhile, if anybody has any questions, any challenges you're facing in registration, sign up on the SessionMate platform, either on the mobile app or the web version, let us know. We can help resolve that right here in the call. Or if you have any other questions in general about what SessionMate is about, how are we assisting special educators and early intervention therapists like OTs, SLPs, ABA therapies in the early intervention of neurodivergent kids. We are very happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, I think in the interest of time, Rupal, you can share your screen, and before sharing the screen, let me quickly run a poll discussing whether people have signed up on the platform or not. So there is a poll which would appear on your screen. If you could quickly answer in a yes or no, so that we understand whether you have signed up on the platform or not, that will be helpful. It will take hardly 5 seconds. I would request everyone to answer the poll. Okay, great, thank you. So I think most of you have created your profiles or signed up or registered on the SessionMate platform, but for the interest of a few who have yet not done it, Rupal will give you a quick walkthrough of how do you register or sign up on the SessionMate platform. So SessionMate is a platform because SessionMate is available both on your laptop, on the browser, as well as you can download it as a mobile app on Play Store and App Store. So Rupal, you can share your screen and quickly walk us through the sign up process, and then we'll get started with the IP and therapy plan creation. Rupal, you are not audible. Are you on mute?
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible now.
Okay. So hi everyone. Thank you for dialing in. As Sir said, to save some time, we will just quickly walk everyone through how to register, how to sign in on our platform. This is the website you see about SessionMate AI. One can always check this website and see how to use SessionMate, or can contact us and let us know to plan these priority groups and invites already. These are the two offerings that we have: SessionMate IP platform and then material creation. As a new user, I would suggest people to just quickly click on the Smart IP and decide your role as a therapist, educator, or parent and caregiver. Let's click on therapist and educator. Here we have 3 options to begin with creating a plan. If you want to create a plan, you can, without signing in, you can quickly avail this feature. You would have 2 trials to create a goal for yourself, or you can log in here. You can sign up here, create an account of your own by selecting your role. So there are 3 roles: therapist, caregivers, and center coordinators. This is for therapists and educators as well. So I'm assuming all of us are, or perhaps most of us are therapists here. I'll choose that. As a center coordinator, your authority and the features that you avail expand. We can walk you through that as well. Let's just quickly select on therapist for now. You can write your name ABC. give us your phone numbers. Okay, so one thing here is you should in fact use your WhatsApp number here, because all the reports that are sent to you automatically will be shared on this particular number. So just write your number, write your email, and you will get a center code. If you don't already have an account, you will get a center code generated here, therapy center code, which will be your workspace. Since I've already
So it is important to understand. So, Rupal, let's clarify this specific piece of information. If you're a new user on SessionMate platform, even if you are a individual therapist or educator, or you are a center coordinator, you should not select I have a center code, and you should let the default center code get created for you in this text box that you see under therapy center code. But if you are a therapist or an educator who wants to align to a therapy center which is already there on the SessionMate platform, then you should select the checkbox I have a center code and enter the center code of the therapy center that you want to be aligned to. So I believe most of us are most of the therapists and educators are the first timers. So you can let a default or a auto populated center code show up here in this text box. Yes, please continue.
Yes, sir. So after filling in all the details, you will be able to you will be able to create your account. Since I've already created my account, let me just quickly show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the page that we lead you to. Here you can see, after we have logged into our SessionMate platform, this is a workspace of your own. You can check your therapy center code here and onboard a child. By onboarding a child, we are giving the platform first hint about the child's case history. First name is important, their number, their caregiver's number, because again, the reports will be automatically sent to this particular number that you register here. So please ensure that the number you use here has a WhatsApp access. After filling
just to clarify, the reports are not automatically sent. The entire control lies with the therapist and center coordinator. Whatever consensually needs to be shared with the caregiver is shared. And suppose there are some plans or there is an IP that the therapist want to keep with themselves and revise it, they can choose not to share with the caregiver. But then if there is an option of sharing materials and instructions with the parent, so the number that you provide here of the parent or caregiver should also be WhatsApp enabled, because that is the primary mode of communication between the therapist and the caregiver. So the intent of providing this is a very short form. If you take a look at this, it hardly takes not even 1 minute to enter all these details. The intent of providing this short and crisp onboarding form is, we have seen and we have talked to multiple therapy centers and coordinators and therapists. Child onboarding is one of the biggest pain areas in any therapy center, at least across India, because I've been to multiple centers in US and Australia and UK also. There, because the insurance and the government also intervenes, so they have a very well defined electronic health record mechanism in which the details of the child can be pulled automatically or is easier to punch in. In India, there is no insurance and there is no practically extreme intervention from the government, so that no EHR is there. So which means, how does the child enter into the SessionMate platform is this starting point. This is a very quick, effective way to onboard a child on the SessionMate platform. The therapist or coordinator, whoever is onboarding the child, will spend hardly a minute or two to enter these details, and once that is done, the child is onboarded and can be aligned to any therapist. Details about the child's progress can be stored against this, and everything around the child can be done right here on the SessionMate platform. So this is the first point of entry for the child. Yes, please continue.
Yes, sir. So once you're done filling in the details, you can submit the form, and directly you will be led to a very brief but very important case history performer. You can either choose to fill it or you can skip it for now and fill it later on. I've already onboarded a child here. So let me just quickly show you how we go about creating goals, creating therapy plans for a child.
So let's spend some time. So let's select a child and wait. Let's talk about the two options that show up here. So we have spent a lot of time talking to a lot of experts and SMEs in this domain. So we realized that there is something called observation and functional screening slash assessment that is done when the child is first brought to the therapy center. And then there is something which is more academic oriented and more cognitive oriented, which is the individualized education program that needs to be created. So we have provided two options here. If you are an occupational therapist, we would recommend going through the AI assessment route. This AI assessment is not a typical run-of-the-mill chat GPT assessment. It is far more depth. It has far more depth. It has far more understanding of what to ask, how to assess the child's capabilities. And then from the responses that are captured as part of this assessment, it is able to bring up or structure or create well-defined granular goals along with the recommended strategies for that child. However, if you are a special educator and you are more inclined towards the cognitive abilities, what is the ADLs and what are the other aspects that the child currently possesses, then you can take the smart IP route and you can go ahead and basis the observation that you've done. Of course, you can always take the AI assessment route even if you are a special educator. But suppose you are more you are asked or you are requested that you have to more assess the child on specific areas only. You can take the smart IP route, enter your request or your requirement in simple plain English language, and then it again uses our proprietary AI models to come up with very granular refined goals along with specific targeted strategies as activities to achieve those goals in a specified duration of time, which means long term, short term, medium term goals, everything can be defined right from here. So I think so Rupal, do we want to show the smart IP or the AI assessment?
So we can show them both, like anything you say. Like I think it is better for us to.
In the interest of time, let's talk about smart IP first.
Yes, sir. Here on Smart IP, we understand that there could be some therapists or educators who have already created an IP of their own. So they can upload their existing IPs and get our system to help them generate the goals from the same. Or they can describe the learner's need here in a very plain English, as sir mentioned earlier, and then have goals created from there only. These are some pre-filled text. Let's just use one of them. Here you can see the character limit, so you can describe as much as you want about the learner's requirements, both strengths and needs. Okay, so based on the input we have shared with our system, there are 3 goals that we have generated so far. I can pause here for a minute for all of us to quickly take a look at the qualities of goal that we have generated. The goal, it comes with one statement only. We've been able to generate 3 goals with different levels, like different functional level of a learner. You can see the current level and the target level here is different for each goal that we have generated. And all of the goals are very structured and standardized. We can proceed with 2 goals or add more goals if you want. At this point, if a therapist or educator feels that their learners are a little different and perhaps would require some customization, so here they can edit the goal as much as they want. Say if a learner is not functionally as independent, so we can say 3 out of 5 trials and save it. Done. So here all the educators and therapists can either copy paste it, use it for elsewhere, can edit it right now or delete the goal altogether. I have edited one right now, and you can also merge. You can club 2 goals together if you find them similar and you want strategies to be recommended based on that. So far we have selected 2 goals. Let's proceed with the strategy selection.
One thing important to highlight is you can add your own goals as well. So it is possible that basis the prompt or the plain English instruction that you provided, you don't find the exact goal that you are targeting with the child. So you can always add a goal. So if you can show that, Rupal, how it works.
Yes. So here we have another feature of adding goals. There are two ways one can do it. For experienced therapists, perhaps those who are new to it and would require some assistance can generate it from AI can generate it from here. But otherwise, if there are some therapists or educators who want to manually type in the goals, they can use manual entry and fill in these areas to generate a goal. Say at this moment, if I am to add another goal about teaching a learner about identification of color red. So I've very simply written what I want, and now I'm generating a goal from the same. Here, again you would realize that our system has generated two goals on different levels based on the little prompt that I have shared, red, blue and yellow color with 80% accuracy over 3 consecutive trials. So the goals we have generated has a condition, has the learner's ability, it's written there, and the criteria over which we will be evaluating them objectively. Let's select one of the goals that we think is appropriate and add it to our list. Now you would see there are 3 goals in total. Here again, you can see there are 2 ways that we can, there are 2 features that we have here. First is IP therapy plan, which means that based on the goal that we have generated, now how to go about practicing these goals in a therapy center or in a school would mean creating an actionable plan or strategy that is required for a therapist or educators to help their learners understand whatever the goal or objective we have decided. I'll pause my screen for a moment so all the therapists and educators that we have on the call can take a look at the quality of strategies written here. Across various subcategories like multisensory color learning, visual supports for color learning, there is structural color identification teaching. So again, I would like to weigh in here that so far we have only written the goal of goal of a learner, and we have not yet described their strengths and needs as much. So the strategies recommended here, they touch upon various aspects like multi-sensory teaching strategy. If the learner is visual, then we have visual strategies for the same. If we want them to generalize it, here is a strategy, here's a list of strategy here. And if they come with mathematical temperament and they have inclination towards that, then we have data collections and systematic learning. So heuristic learning we are also catering to, because learner, they learn by doing or they do it by playway method. So there are different ways a strategy is generated. So say for example, if I find these 2 strategies relevant for my learner, I will add it. If I feel all the 3 strategies are optimal, I can add it here as well. Next comes the home plan. Once we have created the therapy plan, which is going to be performed in the school or therapy center, there is another aspect that we have to cover, which is generalization of the same goal at home. So this is the plan the therapists and educators can share at home with the parents or caregivers of a learner with special need. The difference between therapy plan and home plan is that we understand that there are some equipments, there are some features, there are some technical machinery that is only available in a therapy center or a structured school or other institution. But at home, there are very generic tools that parents and caregivers can use to help their children understand that particular goal and generalize it at home. Since I've added it, both therapy plan and home plan for this particular goal, let us move on to the next one. Let's select strategy for this particular goal. which is about connecting dotted lines. So, pre-writing skills. Yes. So these are the strategies. We can select the relevant ones. Multisensory letter formation practice. So tactile tracing of uppercase letter using sandpaper. So all these strategies recommended here are very easy to follow through. An educator, a therapist can directly use them, they're ready to use in the therapy center with minimal materials available, and it does not require a lot of creation of TLM or any other technical requirement here. Let's review the plan that we have created so far. So for one goal, we have selected both home plan and therapy plan, but we also understand that there are some goals which can only be practiced in the school or therapy center. So we can choose to not select a home plan for the same. Here is the goal. So these are the strategies and goal we have selected. We have reviewed it. Let's quickly see the final plan. So this is the final plan that is ready for us to use. Let's submit both the plans. So we have two options here, as sir mentioned, that the therapist or educator can choose to whether share it or with the parents or keep it to themselves. Since if I have registered my caregiver's, the learner's caregiver's number there, so I would want to share it, the entire plan with the parents. So I would share it over WhatsApp. And with this, our plan, we have created a plan in a matter of few minutes. Yes. So, sir, would you like to take in some questions for our users?
Yeah, I think this is very helpful and pretty self-explanatory. And we are always a WhatsApp ping or an email away. So I think we should keep it till this point, at this point of time, for signing up on the platform, which can be done both from the mobile app as well as the web version right here from your laptop or your browser. And the second thing is onboarding a child, which is a very quick process. And then finally creating a IEP or a therapy plan for the child to get started. So this is a very streamlined and easy flow for any therapist, special educator or center coordinator to get started with SessionMate. If you have any specific questions, anybody, you're already added in the priority group, you can always ping us and we'll be more than happy to help you in real time. Okay, I think that's it for now. I think we can close the call, and thank you so much for joining in, and good night.